Seeing this was a great, rare experience, and the footage is absolutely incredible.
Beneath the ocean's surface lies a world most of us will never see. From rare and bizarre sea creatures to eerie, unexplained encounters, divers have witnessed things that blur the line between reality and the supernatural. These chilling underwater mysteries leave us questioning what truly lurks in the depths just beyond our reach.
Some kind of what? Whoa. Wow. It just got so big.
A diver was searching for wreckage when he noticed something moving in the water. At first, it was just a shadow, but as it got closer, he realized it was huge. Long tentacles started uncoiling and floating toward him. It was the kraken. The sea monster sailors had feared for centuries. Before he could react, the tentacles reached out, and the camera caught one last shot. After that, he was gone, and no trace of him was ever found. Treasure to behold. Not all underwater discoveries are sea creatures. A team of divers exploring the waters of Greece uncovered priceless artifacts and human remains at the site of an ancient shipwreck. The wreck, known as the Antikythera shipwreck, dates back to 60 BC and remains one of the most valuable finds ever. Among the treasures were the arm of a bronze statue covered in barnacles, jewelry, pottery fragments, and other relics, perfectly preserved after centuries underwater. Experts continue to study the site, uncovering even more secrets hidden beneath the waves. Underwater giants. An underwater explorer set up his camera for a routine dive, thinking he was just capturing the usual beauty of the ocean. But later, when he reviewed the footage, he saw something incredible. Two giant creatures with long necks, like something straight out of a dinosaur movie, swam right past him. He hadn't seen them in person, but the camera caught it all. He went back to the same spot to find them, but the ocean doesn't always offer second chances. Underwater museum. A diver was exploring the seafloor when dust and bubbles clouded his view. For a moment, he couldn't see anything, but as the water cleared, he saw something amazing. Right in front of him was a structure that looked like a doorway to an unknown world. But what really stunned him were the human sculptures around him. These weren't ancient ruins. He was at Museo Atlantico, Europe's first underwater museum. Over 300 life-sized sculptures covered the seabed, each silently telling its own story. Galapagos dragon. During an underwater dive, a diver came across a creature that seemed straight out of a nightmare. Large eyes, sharp teeth, and spines running down its back. Its long tail moved like a serpent in the water. For a moment, it looked like a dragon from ancient myths, but then the diver recognized it, a marine iguana, a species only found in the Galapagos Islands. These unique lizards are the only ones in the world adapted to life in the ocean, diving deep to graze on underwater algae. It's a true testament to nature's incredible ability to evolve. Lost Palace. While diving near Alexandria, a group of explorers discovered something incredible beneath the waves: ruins. As they swam closer, they realized they had found the remnants of a palace and temple complex, the very place Cleopatra had once ruled. The ruins had been buried under the sea for over 1,600 years. After earthquakes and tsunamis took their toll, these underwater ruins whispered the secrets of Egypt's last dynasty, still holding stories from long ago. Close call.
Oh, shit!
In Norway's Arctic waters, a diver was filming a pod of orcas when something massive surfaced right near him. Before he could react, a humpback whale shot toward him, its mouth wide open. The orcas had rounded up a huge bait ball, and the divers had unknowingly drifted right into the middle of the hunt. For a brief moment, it looked like the whale was headed straight for them, but just in time, it scooped up its meal and dove back into the deep. It was a close call that left everyone stunned. Mermaid theory. On March 6, 2013, a deep-sea expedition in the Greenland Sea took an unexpected twist. As the submarine explored the freezing depths, a sudden jolt rocked the vessel. The crew thought it was just a large fish, until webbed hands pressed against the glass. The figure outside looked almost human, but with something definitely off. It didn't try to break in, just gently bumped into the submarine. Weeks later, authorities suddenly banned expeditions in the area. That's when the theory started. Was it a mermaid, an unknown species, or something the world had never seen? Comment below what you think, and if you think this wasn't real. Forgotten submarine. Deep below the surface, divers stumbled upon something chilling. Skeletons scattered across the seabed, seemingly untouched, as if frozen in time. As they ventured further, the eerie scene grew more unsettling. There, beneath the dark waters, was a sunken submarine, its surface blanketed in marine growth. Inside, more skeletons remained in place, their hollow eye sockets staring back at the divers. A lost city might have once existed here, but what was a submarine doing in the middle of it? Some believe deep waters have a mysterious force that pulls things down, trapping them forever. This place seemed to be proof of that. Curious creature. Not every sea creature runs away from humans. In fact, some are just as curious about us as we are about them. That's exactly what a diver experienced when a tiger shark decided to circle him. Unlike the usual behavior of sharks, which tend to keep their distance, this one was different. It circled the diver again and again, testing his nerves. Tiger sharks are some of the ocean's most fearsome predators, and getting that close is a rare and nerve-wracking moment. But the diver kept calm and handled the situation like a pro. Salvage this buddy. A salvage diver in South Africa had no clue he was seconds away from a terrifying encounter. While posing for a picture, a massive great white shark appeared out of nowhere, its mouth wide open, just inches from his face. In an instant, luck was on his side. The diver tilted his head just in time, and the shark's bite missed by a hair. Instead of activating its predatory instincts, the shark brushed past and disappeared into the deep. It could have charged, but instead, it just watched. Close calls like this remind us sharks may not always hunt, but it's never safe to get too close. Hidden eyes. Coral reefs are stunning, but they also hide a secret or two. At Amphora Beach in Sharm el-Sheikh, a diver was enjoying the colorful view when something moved in the shadows. At first, it was hard to see, but then two intense, unblinking eyes met his. It was a Moray eel, slithering silently out of its crevice. Known for their snake-like bodies and sharp teeth, these eels can be intimidating, but they're usually just curious, staying hidden unless they feel threatened. Still, you never know when one of these watchful creatures might decide to make an appearance. Massive jellyfish. Off the coast of Cornwall, the waters are full of surprises. While diving near Falmouth, a diver spotted a strange sight gliding through the water. It was a jellyfish, but much bigger than any she'd ever seen before. This was a barrel jellyfish, the largest species in UK waters. But this one was massive, even for its kind. Barrel jellyfish are rare to spot, especially at such a size. Its translucent, pulsing body was a sight to behold, leaving the diver in awe. Not every day you come face to face with something that could be bigger than you. Curious calf. A boater, enjoying a peaceful swim in the open sea, soon realized he wasn't alone. Rising slowly from the depths was a whale calf. Even though it was just a calf, it was still bigger than him by a long shot. The calf then swam close, curiously circling him, studying him like a new toy. But it wasn't just the calf. The mother whale soon appeared, keeping a watchful eye. She could have easily sent him flying with a flick of her tail. But instead, they shared the moment. It was as if the whales knew that curiosity isn't just for humans. Hidden giant. Coral reefs are buzzing with life, but some creatures like to keep out of sight. A diver was drifting past the coral when something unexpected happened. A massive mouth emerged from the rocks. Slowly, a thick, powerful head of a Moray eel came into view. Moray eels are experts at blending in, hiding between rocks, waiting for passing prey. Seeing one out in the open was already rare, but this one was even more impressive because of its size. Bigger than most eels in the area, it seemed almost like a silent guardian of the reef, watching without moving, as if sizing up the diver instead of retreating. Graceful encounter. Off the coast of San Benedicto Island, a group of divers noticed a massive shadow drifting through the water. At first, it seemed distant, but as it drew closer, the shape became clear. A giant manta ray glided through the water with a kind of grace you can only dream of. Its wings spread wide, moving effortlessly as if it was flying beneath the waves. Unlike many sea creatures that shy away, this one seemed to approach the divers, almost like it knew they were there. Manta rays are not only huge, they're intelligent too. They recognize faces, remember interactions, and sometimes they appear to enjoy meeting us just as much as we enjoy meeting them. Gentle giant. The ocean has its giants, and sometimes they demand respect. One diver had the rare chance to meet one of them up close, but it wasn't a great white. It was a whale shark, the largest fish on the planet. Instead of swimming past, this massive creature positioned itself vertically in the water, perfectly aligned with the diver. Its mouth was slightly open, as if it was checking him out. The diver, knowing better than to panic, stayed calm. Whale sharks can sense fear, and this was a moment of quiet connection with one of the ocean's most magnificent giants. Underwater swing. While diving, an explorer spotted something out of place, a rusted metallic object sticking out of the sand. As he reached for it, he uncovered more rusty rods and a chain. It wasn't just a piece of metal, it was part of something bigger. After a careful pull, the object revealed its shape, a swing. A swing? Underwater? How did this strange object end up buried in the sand? While shipwrecks and lost artifacts are common, a swing is a mystery no one saw coming. The discovery left more questions than answers about how it got there. Unexplained find. In the Baltic Sea, some believe a spaceship could be resting on the seafloor. In 2012, a team of Swedish treasure hunters made a baffling discovery while scanning the ocean floor. Using underwater radar, the Ocean X team spotted a massive, circular object 90 meters below the surface. Its size wasn't the only thing that stood out. The edges were perfectly straight, with sharp corners, totally unlike the natural seafloor around it. Some speculate it could be a crashed UFO, an ancient structure, or just an oddly shaped rock. The debate still continues, and the mystery remains unsolved. Shark encounter. At the Dubai Mall Aquarium, scuba divers were surrounded by marine life when something unexpected happened. A massive shark began swimming toward them, its gaze fixed on the divers. The creature's stare was intense, and one diver later described it as a moment of pure uncertainty. This wasn't any ordinary shark. It had one eye, deformed gums, and jagged teeth that made it look downright eerie. As it swam just meters away, the divers stayed still, gripping a rock to avoid attracting attention. This sand tiger shark is an endangered species, a reminder of how these creatures continue to survive in a changing world. Ancient find. Deep in the ocean, where light barely reaches, two divers noticed something unusual moving in the darkness. As it got closer, they realized it wasn't a rock or shadow. It was a skeletal structure, its ribbed body stretched far, with a skull-like head and twisted appendages frozen in time. It looked ancient, almost unreal. Legends tell of leviathans, giant sea creatures lost to history. Could this be proof they once existed? Or was it something even older, a forgotten creature waiting to be uncovered? What do you think? Wrasse is this? While diving near the seafloor, a diver spotted something huge. It wasn't a shark or a whale. It was a fish, and it was massive. The creature was a humphead wrasse, also called the Napoleon wrasse. Its big hump and colorful features made it look like something out of another world. This fish is one of the largest reef fish, and seeing one is a sign that the ecosystem around it is thriving. Giant encounter. A research team in the Gulf of Mexico had been sifting through hours of deep-sea footage, finding little of interest. That was until, from the darkness, a giant squid slowly emerged. Its long tentacles moved through the water, its massive body barely visible in the dim light. It was only the second time a giant squid had ever been filmed in its natural habitat. But the surprises didn't end there. Just 50 meters away, a waterspout suddenly formed, forcing the crew to stay on edge. Despite the chaos, they captured it. The proof of a deep-sea giant few have ever seen alive. Frozen beast. Divers exploring the deep-sea floor stumbled upon something massive, buried beneath layers of seaweed and debris. At first, they thought it was just a boulder, but as they got closer, they saw legs, huge, unmoving, and covered in marine growth. It was a giant crab, completely petrified, its massive claws frozen in mid-motion. The eerie sight left them questioning how long had it been there, and what could have turned this once living creature into stone. Doom legend. On June 27, 2023, a group of scuba divers in Taiwan encountered something straight out of a legend, an oarfish. This deep-sea giant is rarely seen alive, usually staying far below the surface, only washing ashore when it's in distress. But this time, it was right there in front of them, lifeless and barely moving. Its long silver body was marked with strange signs, adding an eerie vibe to the moment. At 36 feet long, this was a rare sight, a once-in-a-lifetime experience. No wonder sailors once believed these creatures were sea monsters. Mysterious mouth. A viral video sent shockwaves through the internet. It showed a massive sea creature, one that didn't match anything known to science. But the real shock came when the camera zoomed in on its open mouth. Barely visible inside was a scuba diver, alive. The creature was so massive, the diver looked tiny, almost unreal. Speculation spread like wildfire. Some thought it was proof of an undiscovered beast. Others connected it to the bloop, a mysterious sound recorded by NOAA in 1997. Back then, scientists dismissed it as shifting ice. But with this new footage, old theories were reignited. Had NOAA been wrong? And more importantly, what happened to the diver? Venomous encounter. When most people think of ocean dangers, sharks come to mind. But a diver captured footage that introduced a new fear: sea snakes. These highly venomous creatures don't typically charge unless provoked, and most of the time, they're just curious. But imagine being underwater, and suddenly, a sea snake rushes toward you. Staying calm is key. But in that moment, would you be able to? The footage left many rethinking their own comfort zones in the water. Frogfish's yawn. On December 1st, 2024, in Lembeh Strait, North Sulawesi, Indonesia, divers were treated to an unexpected sight: a giant frogfish yawning at a depth of 7 meters. These creatures are masters of disguise, often blending so seamlessly with the ocean floor that they're nearly invisible. But this wasn't just a random stretch. The yawn was a vital move, helping to clear its gills and keep its breathing in check. Despite its stillness, the frogfish relies on such small actions to stay alive. It was a brief but fascinating look into the secretive world of this ocean predator. Edible monster. The ocean still holds many mysteries, and in 2015, something bizarre surfaced off the coast of Angola. While filming 4,000 feet under the sea, BP workers captured a strange, wriggling, spaghetti-like creature drifting through the dark waters. It moved like a tangled mess of worms. The unusual sight earned it the nickname Flying Spaghetti Monster, but after further examination, scientists identified it as a rare siphonophore. Its long feeding tentacles were pulled close to its body, creating the illusion of a tangled mess. It may not have been a mythical creature, but it sure looked like one. Petrified shark. Divers at Lake Neuchâtel were in for a surprise when they thought they spotted a lurking shark beneath the surface. For a brief moment, they feared they were about to become its next meal. But as they got closer, the truth became clear. It wasn't a shark at all. The lake is home to a massive statue of a great white, positioned perfectly to trick swimmers. With its sharp teeth, menacing fins, and lifelike design, the statue makes it look as though it's ready to strike. Supported in a way that makes it seem to float, it's the perfect prank. For those unaware, it's enough to make anyone hesitate before diving in. Tickle, tickle, terror. While diving off a remote island, one diver encountered something unexpected. As he descended, he came face to face with an octopus, but this wasn't any ordinary octopus. This one was enormous. Its long limbs stretched out far beyond the usual, and one tentacle slowly reached toward him in a curious motion. Unlike most deep-sea creatures that try to hide or flee, this octopus seemed interested. Was it a mutated octopus, affected by the environment, or perhaps a completely new species with behaviors humans have never seen before? One thing was for sure: it was no ordinary sea creature. Preacher fish. About 80 miles off Gibraltar, an ROV caught a chilling sight on the keel of the HMS Ark Royal. A monkfish sat motionless, its wide mouth and bizarre filament-like lure hanging ominously between its eyes. It looked more like a creature out of a horror movie than something from the deep sea. The fish didn't move, but its eerie lure swayed, waiting for prey. Sadly, monkfish numbers are dwindling due to bottom trawling, slow reproduction, and high demand for its tender flesh, making this strange creature more vulnerable than ever. Deep sea dance. While diving in the ocean's darkest depths, a diver encountered a creature so bizarre it could have been straight out of a sci-fi movie. The big-finned squid. With fins larger than its body and long arms that stretched over 7 meters, it waved gently through the water like a phantom. When the diver managed to snap some rare photos, the world got a glimpse of one of the ocean's rarest and most mind-boggling creatures. These strange, otherworldly beings remind us how much of the sea still remains a mystery. Victorian arachnids. A marine biologist diving off the coast of Victoria's Mornington Peninsula stumbled upon a strange and surprising sight: giant sea spiders crawling across the ocean floor. These were not your average creepy crawlers. These spiders were huge, their legs stretching far as they moved. The biologist quickly realized that they were gathering for molting season, a time when they shed their old exoskeletons and grow new ones. It was a bizarre yet fascinating sight, and while she knew better than to get too close, she watched in awe as these massive spiders prepared for their transformation. Goliath of a bite. Goliath groupers are typically calm and non-threatening, but divers are always warned to be cautious around these giants. One diver learned that lesson the hard way when he witnessed a grouper swimming peacefully near him on the ocean floor. Suddenly, the grouper changed its behavior, and this happened. Thankfully, the grouper eventually released him, and the only damage was his messed up goggles. Though it could have been much worse, the encounter must have felt like an eternity in those tense seconds. Surprising defense.
Look, oh my god.
Look
Look at that. Wow.
Goodness.
While exploring the waters at Papahanaumokuakea Marine National Monument, a group of divers came across a creature so bizarre it looked like something out of a cartoon. It had a pouch-like mouth that inflated rapidly, making it look almost like a Muppet. As the creature puffed itself up, it appeared much larger than it really was. The divers watched in awe, trying to make sense of this unusual defense mechanism, before realizing it was a gulper eel. This unexpected display of size and shape was just one of the ocean's many strange and fascinating wonders.
Oh my god.
Peaceful slumber. Deep beneath the waves, a group of divers witnessed something truly remarkable. A mother sperm whale and her calf peacefully sleeping among the members of their social group. At first, the divers could only make out strange shapes in the water, but as they got closer, it became clear. The whales were resting in a columnar formation, their bond unbreakable as they slept together. This rare and surreal sight was a reminder of the deep connections these giants share. And for the divers, it was a once-in-a-lifetime experience to witness such a serene and intimate moment. On guard. While working off the coast in a two-man bell, a diver had an unexpected close call with a swordfish. Using a rebreather system, he was focused on his task when suddenly a swordfish charged at him. Its bill became stuck in the rebreather, and it thrashed violently, trying to free itself. Trapped in the moment, the diver struggled to reach the situation behind him, but he managed to make it back to the bell. Just as he was about to enter, the swordfish freed itself and swam off. The nerve-wracking incident, captured by an ROV, quickly went viral, showcasing the raw unpredictability of the deep sea. Dude, you're riding. Not all sea giants are predators. While diving near the seafloor, one diver had a rare and breathtaking encounter with a hawksbill turtle. As one of the most critically endangered species in the world, the sight of this majestic creature gliding gracefully through the water was incredibly rare. The diver marveled at how slowly and gently the turtle moved, knowing that such moments are becoming fewer and further between. Witnessing this graceful creature in its natural habitat felt like a reminder of the delicate balance of ocean life and how lucky we are to still see these living wonders. Sunfish encounter.
Seeing this was a great, rare experience, and the footage is absolutely incredible.
While diving off the coast of Portugal, a diver encountered a sea creature so enormous it seemed almost alien. Hovering in the deep waters was a massive fish, its body flat and nearly circular, with a mouth left open as if always observing. The closer the diver got, the more astonishing the scale of this giant became. This wasn't just any fish, it was a sunfish, a true ocean giant, measuring an impressive 15 by 12 feet and weighing up to 5,000 pounds. The sunfish might look intimidating, but it's harmless to humans. Known for its curious nature, it often swims near divers, adding to the awe of those lucky enough to see it up close.
Literally the size of a truck. They look intimidating, but they're completely harmless to humans. They're actually curious with divers.
Humpback's plea. On his way to Roca Partida, a diver came across something unusual. A distressed mother humpback whale floating in the water, clearly grieving the loss of her calf. The news was heartbreaking. The mother's cries seemed to echo through the water. And the diver instinctively knew he couldn't just leave her there. Whales, like other animals, sometimes turn to humans for help. And in this rare moment, it seemed the whale was asking for assistance. Without hesitation, the diver set off to search for the lost calf, hoping to reunite the pair and bring some comfort to the grieving mother. Playful chaos. A diver, with his eyes scanning the reef, hoped to encounter a dolphin, though it wasn't guaranteed. Dolphins move on their own terms. He got lucky. The sound of bubbles caught the dolphin's attention, and in an instant, it swam over, eager to play. What followed was pure chaos. The dolphin circled him, twisting and turning in wild, dizzying motions. Each time the diver tried to keep up, the dolphin sped up, zipping in and out so quickly that it became a blur. The encounter lasted only moments, but it left the diver breathless, unsure if it was real. Thankfully, the whole thing was captured on camera, leaving onlookers amazed. Eel chase. While exploring a vibrant coral reef, a diver noticed a quick movement in the water. Something was trying to hide, darting away from him with speed. Intrigued, the diver followed, eager to uncover the mystery of the creature. It didn't take long before he spotted it. A massive Moray eel. Known for its elongated body, this carnivorous creature can reach lengths of up to 3 meters and weigh 66 pounds. Typically a nocturnal hunter, the eel ventured from its lair in search of prey. And now, let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. While filming the vibrant coral reefs of Australia, an explorer's camera caught something unexpected. At first, it seemed like just another fish swimming by, but as it came into focus, his heart skipped a beat. The upper half of the creature looked eerily human arms, a head, and features that almost resembled a person. Before he could fully comprehend what he was seeing, the creature swiftly darted away, vanishing into the depths of the reef. The sight left him stunned, wondering if he'd just encountered a mermaid or something far stranger, lurking in the ocean's depths. Thank you for watching.